Hi dear friends, I'm Hemant Kumar Devre. I welcome you once again the third part of the video of lesson diversity and discrimination. In this video, we are going to watch all the terms which I have explained you through the classes, online classes. I have explained the topics like diversity, discrimination, prejudices, stereotypes. I have given you many more examples. I hope this video will be helpful for all of us to clear all our doubts whatever we have about this lesson and the new terms like discrimination, prejudices, stereotypes and many more. So let us watch the video once again.
Discrimination. Understanding
We have to understand
prejudice.
prejudice.
What prejudice means. The dictionary meaning of prejudice is having a feeling formed already without knowledge, thought, or reason. It is usually a feeling of like or dislike for someone or something, especially when it is not reasonable or logical. So, prejudice is judging someone or having an idea about them before you actually know anything about them. It also means having an opinion about something without knowing anything about it. It seems a bit silly to have an opinion about something or someone you know nothing about. The problem is that many times we don't realize that we have strong ideas about certain groups of people, their culture, or their religion. We don't always realize that our family or friends or things on TV have put that idea in our head. Diversity and discrimination, how prejudice may have come to be. The feeling of prejudice. Long ago, people did not travel much as there were no good methods of transport available. Most people must have lived and died somewhere around the same area they were born in. So, they must have been used to having only people like them around, who looked similar, dressed similar, behaved similarly. As they got used to that, they must have also felt safe, as it was all familiar to them. If someone different came into their group, they would all be alert. Since they did not know how this person would behave, there was always a danger that he could harm them. In fact, if you think about it, attackers and invaders must have all been outsiders. As people stayed with groups that were similar, the only reason they would probably go to a different group would be for war. People must have worked very hard to have safe settlements back then, and getting attacked or invaded must have been their biggest fear. There was a high chance of such danger when outsiders started becoming a part of their group. So, they must have been very careful and a little afraid of the different people. They must not have welcomed these people at all. In fact, they may have got together to push them out. With the way things were at that time, it was probably their way of keeping their family and group safe. They had to stick together and fight the outsiders to stay away from harm. This fear of different and outsiders must have got passed on from generation to generation in families. So, when they saw a different person, they had automatically formed their ideas about that person. Now, over years, the style of living changed. People started traveling to different places to settle down, and so many different kinds of people started living in the same area. But the fear from the olden days didn't change. And that is probably how prejudice began. And in modern times, we even develop new prejudices in a different way. You may see something on TV about a certain group of people doing something really bad. It's scary. So your brain registers what country they are from, what race or religion they belong to, what language they speak, how they look. After that, you start thinking that all people of that race, religion, or language are bad people. How silly is that? There are good and bad people everywhere in the world. So, you can see that if you are not careful, you can develop prejudices of your own too. Diversity and discrimination, different kinds of prejudice. Kinds of prejudice. Prejudice is judging someone without knowing them based on some idea from somewhere about a group. People have prejudices about so many groups in so many different ways. Boys and girls. Have you heard someone saying something like that? Don't cry like a girl. That's a prejudice. It's thinking that all girls cry and are weak and that boys are supposed to be strong and not do that. City and village people. What group comes to mind? They are all backward and illiterate. That's a prejudice. It's an opinion that all villagers are uneducated and can't think. Knowing a language. What is this about? Don't know English? How stupid. That's a prejudice. It's an opinion that all people who know English are smart, and if you don't know it, you must be stupid. Other prejudices. There are prejudices that people carry about so many things: religion, skin color, language, accent, clothes, teachers, caste, disability, and more. Think and discuss. Is this statement full of prejudice? Explain. Girls are well behaved and gentle. Villagers do not care about their health. Ram, don't dance. You are a boy. City people are spoiled and lazy. Seema, don't run around like that. You are a girl. Recognizing prejudice. As soon as you hear people making comments like all men, all people of one race, all girls, all boys, all people with 1 year bigger than the other, or whatever, then you can tell that there is some prejudice there. If you catch yourself saying stuff like that, then think. Be sensitive. Certain communities do have certain characteristics because of their culture. Some of these may seem amusing to outsiders. Joking about it is okay, as long as everyone is enjoying it. If you find that someone's feelings are getting hurt, stop the conversation, change the subject, and move on. Think and discuss. What can you do in this situation? A friend begins to tease a classmate because he is poor. Children refuse to share their food with a classmate because they think he is dirty. Someone tells you a joke that makes fun of a community because of their accent. Some boys make remarks about girls not being able to play games as well as them. Diversity and discrimination, stereotype. Stereotype. Because of prejudice, we have certain opinions about a group of people. When we consider every person of the group to be like that, we call that stereotyping. Here are some ways in which we can stereotype people. Old people are forgetful. Boys are more athletic than girls. Children who wear glasses are nerds. A stereotype doesn't have to be a negative opinion. Tall people are good at basketball. All doctors are rich. Girls dance well. Stereotyping is quite unfair and dangerous. Just because some people from a group may be like that, it doesn't mean everyone will be the same. Due to stereotyping, we don't try to find out about a certain person at all. Now you are an Indian and live in India, so you know how Indians are and how Indians live. People in the USA and Europe have certain stereotyped ideas about Indians. Let's see what some of them are. Indians have very dark skin. Indians are vegetarians. Indians live in huge joint families. All Indians speak Hindi. Indians travel on elephants. India is covered in dirty slums. Indians always eat spicy gravy. Now, do you see how wrong stereotypes can be? Think and discuss. Girls are a burden on their parents. How can this stereotype affect the life of the daughter and the way she is treated in the house?